Hey guys, Mark Linsky here from SunFit Texas, and we're at the University of North Texas Anatomy and Physiology Lab. I'm going to break down what is one of the most serious, painful, nagging, annoying injuries that people experience with back pain. And I'm going to try and explain why it happens and kind of what some of the repercussions of it are, and then later on I'm going to try and explain how to go about recovering from it. So, briefly, I'm going to give you a quick setup on the pelvis and on the body, and where give you some points of reference here. So, first things first, these ear-like things right here, here and here, these are the pelvis, this is the sacrum, the coccyx. So, right here is the sacro-illiac joint, and if I turn it back around and kind of show you what I'm talking about, the joint between the two, when you got your pelvis here, and sacrum here, the joint between the two, sacro-iliac joint. Pelvis, sacrum, well, I guess this is the ilium of the pelvis. There's three different bones in the pelvis, combining together to essentially make one bone. But so I guess I should say this is the ilium here, this is the sacrum here. When they come together, bam, sacro-iliac joint. So if I grab my other one here, looks like this, okay? It's kind of hard to put it all in place, but you can kind of see how that works, and then boom, that's right where it goes. But anyways, so I want to display a couple things for you. Most people will try and go to the chiropractor and get their SI joint popped around, or they'll have a back pain and they'll think it's one of their vertebrae that they need to maneuver one of these guys with the cartilage in the middle. Unfortunately, that's typically not what's causing a lot of people pain, and a lot of people have sciatic pain, sciatic nerve pain. Sciatica is whenever you have the primary nerve going down into your leg. Sciatic nerve is basically being impinged to some extent. It can cause pain, it can cause numbness, it can cause tingling, all kinds of. It just really sucks. I've experienced it myself. I know multiple people in the world experience it. It really sucks, and it comes from basically dislodging of what is supposed to be the rock of your torso and the solid part of your torso, which is the pelvis. So basically, it's really easy. Where your sacrum and your ilium, or the pelvis, come together is a really rough joint. There's not any cartilage. If you look in here, you got your cartilage between the joints of your spine, your intervertebral discs. They're really very durable, flexible. They actually can take a lot of load, believe it or not, if they're loaded properly. That's why we back squat and do stuff like that at SunFit. But this guy here, if it's in place, it's like a solid rock. If it's stabilized, if it's got the hamstrings and the glutes activating to keep it erect and pulled back together tightly, like basically kind of like this type of a motion, which the glutes are supposed to be doing. If that's happening, then they're fine. But what happens is this contact point is not cushioned. It's not very well cushioned. So what happens is you get cocked just a little bit one way or the other, and you're in pain. I mean, you got bone, bam, joint. That's gonna hurt. Okay, so what's happening is, whenever you have that pain, is somewhere or another you're doing some movement, or over time you've done too many movements of some sort, or somewhere or another you were born with a muscular imbalance, whatever. I typically believe that for the most part it comes from actions that we do. It can be hereditary, it can be one of those things where you are born with it, but for the most part I believe that most musculature imbalances commonly, with even if you have like functional scoliosis, structural scoliosis is another thing, but if you have functional scoliosis, for the most part it's going to be stuff that we do in life, repeated practices, that are causing some form of a musculature imbalance to where somewhere or another this bone, these two bones are being yanked here and there from time to time. Okay, I'm going to kind of stop there. The point of the story is, you just marinate on that for a minute. That's bone, and this is rough. When you put those together, it's fine if it's in place, and you're not even going to know it exists. You start cranking in there, and you're in pain.